this news conference by saying that there is no active threat at Waco High School. We did receive reports just before 2 p.m. or around 2 p.m. that an active shooter was at Waco High. Our officers immediately got on scene, and that is when they began to start emergency plans, and they cleared the building as quickly as they could and as methodically as they could. And they quickly learned that there is no active threat. There was no active threat at the school. And we're looking into how this call came in the first place. It came into our dispatch center. And right now, we have been given the all clear. The Waco High School is very big, and she can attest to that. But it took a while to clear the building, and now we are just working to getting kids to the base for reunification.
Right. We did let all the parents know what was going on because we wanted them to be sure not to come to the campus, to come to the base to reunify. And we do have that happening right now as we speak. We have anybody who is planning to walk home, bus home, be picked up, reunifying with parents here at the base. So we are being very methodical about that to make sure that students do go home safely with the right person. So they are checking out their students now as we speak. And we're all just very thankful that this did turn out not to be an active shooter as reported.
Waco PD got the first call at dispatch. I guess when did school officials at Waco High, when were they alerted? What was the first steps in addressing that situation?
So Waco PD and Waco ISD worked together very closely, so they were immediately alerted once they got the call.
We were talking to some parents, and they were saying they were really happy with the response that you had, and that the school was obviously prepared, the police was obviously prepared. Do you want to talk about some of the training that went into responding like that today?
You know, we take this very seriously. Anytime there's a threat to students or staff, we do train year-round, whether it be students doing drills, teachers doing training. Waco ISD PD does all of the required training and more to make sure that we are prepared for these incidents. And then we do joint training with Waco PD and the city as well to make sure that we're all ready to respond when something like this occurs.
I would say that goes hand in hand with our officers is they work day in and day out with different active threat trainings. And so this is one of the reasons why we do those trainings. And thankfully this time there was not a credible threat. And we want to thank all of our emergency responders that did show up to this incident. That's something about an event like this is that when a call goes out, everyone just shows up. So we really appreciate the efforts and the work that everyone put in today.
If you're able to speak to the original call that y'all got, are you able to tell us if this was in a classroom, if this was in a more common area? I guess I know that's probably still up an investigation, but what does the public need to know about the initial threat?
Yeah, so the initial threat just came in that there was an active shooter on campus and that students were possibly injured. And like I said, our officers were immediately on scene, and once they got to the scene, got to Waco High, they were realizing that this was probably not a credible threat as they were working to clear each individual building. Only one phone call came in during this incident, and it, like I said, came into our dispatch center. And so we just realized that it was not a credible threat once we got through the building.
What's the investigation look like going forward after this, since it was deemed not credible?
Going forward, we'll just, again, we'll make sure that all students and faculty are safe. We did see other reports just on Twitter and social media that we are not the only city dealing with this incident right now. So we're not sure what that means regarding this incident, but right now our biggest concern was the safety for the students and our community.
Just to clarify, so we're not the only school that's dealing with a fake call, like a not true, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so we saw on social media that there were other cities in the state also dealing with this incident as we were as well.
Is there any thought maybe it's connected at all, or?
We're not sure with that right now, but we did notice that there were other agencies working the same situation.
How many students and staff are at Waco High?
We have a couple of thousand of students and staff together, and that changes day by day based on who's there, who's gone for the day. But we did move through the rooms, PD did, as quickly as possible to clear it and to make sure that we got our kids over here as soon as possible.
I know that the district implemented a lot of new safety trainings after recent events, and so how were teachers in that scenario today? How do they perform?
Teachers did great. They know what to do whenever we do go into a secure, a lockdown, a hold, whatever the case may be. They do go through those practice drills with students as well. So everybody knew what to do, and thankfully everybody did their part today, and we got through it as quickly as possible.
I think there was great communication throughout all agencies and departments involved today.
What's school look like tomorrow? I mean, is it still everything normal, going back as planned?
Yes, school's a normal day tomorrow, so nobody gets off school.
So one of the concerns from parents were the safety protocol. Some were wondering if there is metal detectors inside the campus. Now, does Waco High implement that protocol?
Waco High does not have metal detectors inside the campus, no.
So as of right now, the school's 100% clear?
The school is clear, and right now they are working to walk students to the base. It's going to be a very slow process, so we just ask for patience with the parents. We understand that you guys want your kids, and we want to get your kids to you, but just please give us some patience as we evacuate the building. We're going to be doing this. It's going to be a very slow process, so just bear with us, and we'll get you your kids.
You know, Waco High is also surrounded by other campuses. Now tell us, how was the response to making sure that those students as well were in secured locations?
So all of those campuses were placed on a secure to make sure that there was no movement happening at the time, just until we knew and had a hold of what actually was happening here at Waco High.
Anything else parents should know?
No, I just want to thank everyone for their patience today. It's really a scary thing to go through for parents, so we really appreciate their patience and their willingness to work with us as we transition the kids from the high school to the base.